Welcome students to our online classes. Myself Ashwini Honkar is going to teach you subject Science Standard 7th lesson number 4, lesson heat. Yes, heat. So students, whenever you fall ill, what your mama is doing? Immediately she is taking hospital, right? No, not at all. May you have thermometer in your home. Your mama is checking your temperature. What she is checking? Temperature. Then after that she will take you hospitals, right? So this thermometer and temperature, how the relation, what is the relation between them, and what is heat, that we are going to study in this lesson. So, what we can say, heat. Heat is a form of energy. What we can say, heat is a form of energy which makes the substance hot. Which makes the substance hot. In winter, it is our common experience that we feel cold inside the house, and if we come out in front of sun rays, then we feel warm. So, students, in summer also, if you go outside, you feel very hot, and in home, you feel somehow cool, right? So, like this, in this lesson, what we are going to study. So, first of all, let me confirm you what is heat. Heat is a form of energy. What it is? Heat is a form of energy. So, in this lesson, we are going to study about hot and cold, types of thermometers, transfer of heat, seas and land breach, radiations and clothes. So these points we are going to cover in this topic. So let us start. Hot and cold. So students, may you observe sometimes your mama is cooking in your home. Just go and try to touch this pan. It's very hot, no? Right? So when the pan is very hot, you just try to touch the handle, it's very cold. Means the pan is made with one of type of material, and this handle is made with another type of material. So what we can say, when a frying pan kept on a burning gas stove becomes hot, but the handle of the pan is cold. So our sense of touch is not enough to telling us whether the object is really hot or cold. So what will happen here, our sense organ means our skin is ready to tell, but here there will be a confusion. There is a same pan, but it's one part is hot and another part one is cold, so it a little bit confusion, right? So here we are going to study about thermometer. So before that, let us conclude why this will happen. Because this pan, a part of this is made with a one material, and this coating is made with another material. Now we are going to study about types of thermometer. So many of you saw the type thermometers, right? So let us study the types of thermometers. In that, one is clinical thermometer, a very familiar thermometer which we ever see, right? Whenever we will fall ill, we are going to hospital. The doctors are first, they are checking our body temperature with the help of clinical thermometer. The next one is a laboratory thermometer. Next one is laboratory thermometer. It is present in science labs. The third one is a digital thermometer. So digital thermometer is one which use in clinics also. Which use in clinics also. Nowadays they are available in your home also. The next, a temperature and thermometer. Next we are going to study what? Temperature and thermometer. So what we can see means, what is temperature? The degree of hotness or a coldness of the body is known as a temperature of an object. What we can say, the degree of hotness or a coldness of the object is known as a temperature of an object. Then the temperature of an object is an only property that indicates which object is hot and which one is cold. So depends on temperature only we can decide that whether the body is hot or cold. Now, the temperature is measured by using the instrument called a thermometer. How we are going to measure it? With the help of thermometer, which has a scale marked on it, which is used to read the temperature. So next we are going to study about clinical thermometer, that it is the thermometer which is used for measuring the temperature of human body, which is measure the temperature of human body. It consists of a long tube. So you can see the picture over here. See, this is the clinical thermometer. It will looks like this. It contains a glass rod. Inside a small pipe is present which contains mercury. Which contains what? Mercury. And here you can see the numbers are labeled. The numbers are labeled. Always mercury is present at the end of the thermometer. At the one end of the thermometer. So when we will keep this thermometer at near the body of a human being, then the mercury will be raised up to the body temperature, and it will show the exact temperature of your body. So what we can say, see, this is the thermometer consists of a long glass tube having a thin and uniform bore. This is a glass bulb at the one end of the glass tube which consists of a mercury as shown in the figure, right? The clinical thermometer has a kink in its glass tube. So what it contains? It contains kink. So this part is called as a kink. What we can say? This is a kink. Then what it will do? Kink in its glass tube, which is to prevent the back flow of mercury into the thermometer. So what it will say? It will prevent the back flow of mercury in the thermometer. Bulb. When the thermometer bulb is removed from the mouth of a patient, this kink prevents the mercury level of the thermometer tube from falling on its own. So what will happen here? So because of this kink, the temperature will be remain constant over here. It will not comes down when it will be removed from human's mouth. So next is how to read the clinical thermometer. How to read? There are the following steps we have to read. First of all, we have to wash the thermometer with an antiseptic solution which is available in the clinics, right? Then we have to wash it the water. Then gently the thermometer tube is keep in your hand and give a jerk. Then we have to give the jerks. Then such a way that the mercury thread in the thermometer tubes fall below the reading of 35 degrees Celsius. We have to make it jerks. तो उसको झटकना है, ऐसे झटकना है, right? That is called as a jerk. So after that we have to keep that thermometer on the tongue. Then the bulb of the tube should be touched to the tongue. In that way we have to keep the thermometer. Then in order to read the thermometer, hold the thermometer horizontally in your hand and rotate it slowly. When we see the magnified image of the mercury thread in its tube, then a position will come. Now read the temperature of thermometer tube in level with the top of the mercury thread. So in this way we are going to read the temperature of the thermometer. Then while using this thermometer, we have to take some precautions. So what precautions we have to take? A clinical thermometer should not be used for any object other than human body. So a clinical thermometer we have to use for only human being purpose, not for animals, not for other things, temperature. Then when wash the clinical thermometer before and after using, preferably with the antiseptic solution. Before use, we just now we discussed that how to use the thermometer, right? So after that, when we use for human body, then also we have to wash with the antiseptic solution. Be ensured that the mercury level before using the clinical thermometer should be below at 35 degrees Celsius. The clinical thermometer should be read by keeping a level of mercury along the line of sight. While reading the clinical thermometer, it should never be held by the bulb. So we are not supposed to touch the bulb of the thermometer, then we have to read it properly. The clinical thermometer should be carefully handled because it is made with a glass material. We have to take it very carefully and we have to handle it very carefully. So next we are going to study about laboratory thermometer. So laboratory thermometer is one which look like this, right? Which looks like this. Somehow it is long. It is similar to the clinical thermometer, but only bulb is not there and kink is not there, right? So it will be measured the temperature up to 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degree Celsius. And about the clinical thermometer, it may measure the temperature from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degree Celsius. It may measure up to 42 degree Celsius. So now, where the laboratory thermometers are useful? They are useful in laboratories. They are useful in laboratories. So let us see how to read the laboratory thermometers. As usual, we have to wash that laboratory thermometer with the clean water in a beaker. Now try to hold a laboratory thermometer from its glass tube and immerse the bulb in the thermometer in hot water taken in the beaker. Then slowly the mercury will be rise up from the bulb, from the lower level. Then you can read properly. Here we will observe the shining thread of a mercury moving up from thermometer tube. After some time the mercury will stop rising and stand at a one place. So that time we can confirm that this is the temperature of this hot water. So while using laboratory thermometer, we have to take some precautions. What precautions we have to take? While measuring the temperature, the laboratory thermometer should be held vertically. How we have to hold? We have to hold it vertically. The thermometer bulb should be surrounded from all sides by the substance those temperature is to be measured. So where the temperature we are measuring, the thermometer should be covered the whole substance from its all sides. The thermometer reading should be taken while its bulb is still in touch with the substance those temperature is being measured, and by keeping the mercury level along the line of sight. So what they said, the thermometer reading should be taken while its bulb is still in touch with the substance. So whenever that thermometer is in hot water, that time only we can measure the temperature. So don't remove the thermometer and after that you have to read. No, it is not correct. We have to keep that thermometer in that material only and we have to measure. The thermometer should not be held by the bulb. We are not supposed to touch at the bottom of the thermometer. The thermometer should be carefully handled. We should note down the temperature reading by keeping the thermometer bulb immersed in a hot water, because if the thermometer bulb is taken out of hot water, then its mercury thread will start falling and this will give a wrong reading for the temperature of hot water. So we have to keep that thermometer in hot water and then only we have to read. Not only that, whenever we are doing some reactions, we have to keep the thermometers in that material only and we have to measure the temperature. Next one is maximum minimum thermometer. So this is a type of thermometer which is useful in weather costing. So it will tell you that you can heard the news, right? So in news they are telling, so tomorrow there will be a rain in Jammu, there will be a rain in Delhi, there will be a rain in Mumbai. Like this, how they are measuring? They are measuring with this instrument which looks like this. This is called as a maximum minimum thermometer. This is called as about maximum minimum thermometer. So another kind of thermometer is there which we are using in clinics, right? These are called as a digital thermometer. So in this digital thermometer, no mercury is there, no kink is there. So electric cell, a small electric cell is there which is reading your body temperature, which is reading your body temperatures. Why they removed mercury? Because mercury is very toxic substance. So we may say it is as a poisonous substance. So nowadays we are avoiding the clinical thermometer and we are using the digital thermometers. So now we are going to start the transfer of heat. How the heat is going to be transferred. So heat always flow from hot body to cold body, or we can say heat always flow from hot object to cold object, right? So heat will flow in solids also, in liquids also, in gases also. It will flow in solids, in liquids and gases also. So let us study one by one. When the two objects attain the same temperature, then the flow of heat stops. So what will happen when there will be a heat transfer? Heat always, just we know that heat always transfer from hot object to cold object. When these two become equal, then heat transfer will be stops. Means that no heat will be transferred from one object to another if the temperature of the two objects will become same. It becomes same because if this body is hot, it will transfer its heat to here. If this body is hot, this will transfer to here. If both are same, then they can't transfer their heat. So now we are going to study the types of transfer of heat. So the heat will transfer by three ways. One is conduction, another one is convection, and another one is radiation. What? One is conduction, another one is convection, and third one is radiation. So first one is conduction. So conduction means what? The heat transfer in solids. The heat transfer in solids. So in solids, what will happen? When we heat the body at one end, the heat will slowly transfer in another end. It will transfers in another end. So in solid, when heat will transfer from one end to another end, that process is called as a conduction. That process is called as what? Conduction. Now the next, conductors. From that we are going to study conductors and insulators of heat. Conductors are those materials which are able to transfer the heat through them. They will allow the heat to pass through them. They are called as a conductors. And insulators are those which cannot be able to pass electricity or hot or heat through them. If you take copper, silver, aluminum, they are very good conductors of heat. But if you take stone, soil, they are very bad conductors, or we may say they are insulators of heat. Yes, they are insulators of heat. Wood, plastic also examples for bad conductors. Now, convection. So, convection is the process that heat will transfer in liquids. Heat will transfer in liquids. So, what will happen here? When we will heat the liquid, when we heat the liquid, the particles of liquid which are hot, they goes up and the cold particles comes down. What will happen? The hot particles of water goes up and the cold particles comes down. So again the process will continue in this way. The hot particles goes up, cold particles come down. So in this way the heat will be transferred in water. You may check it in your home. Take a container, keep some amount of water on your gas, then start heating. So you may observe that the upper layer of water is somehow cold compared to the bottom level of the water. After 2 minutes, the whole water will become equally hot. So now we are going to study about radiation. So radiation is the process, it is the transfer of heat in air and without any medium. Without any medium. So in the conduction, the medium is solid. In the convection, the medium is liquid. And in the radiation, there will be no medium to transfer the heat. The heat will transfer from one object to another, like sunlight. Sunlight will transfer to us. Is there any medium is there? No. There will be or we can say air is the medium. There will be no medium or air is the medium. So we can say the radiations is the transfer of heat from one body to another without any medium. So there is a mainly an empty space that is called the vacuum between the sun and the earth even when the heat from the sun reaches the earth. So there will be a vacuum. After some level of earth there will be no air, then also heat will transfer from sun to earth. So now in this diagram we are going to study all these types of transfer of heat, right? So here a gas burner is started which is heating this container. This container contain water and there will be a radiation. What is conduction? Heat will transfer from this gas to this container and up to the handle, right? So this is the way of conduction. A water is become hot, that is the convection. When the gas will be start, if you stand near to the gas or just put your palms in front of this gas, then you feel heat, right? You feel heat. So this process is called as a radiation. This is called as what? Radiation. So now we are going to study about sea and land bridges. Sea and land bridges. So these are the things which are happen in our surrounding. So the blowing of sea breeze and the land breeze is coastal areas is generally occur due to the convection of heat in air. So convection process where it will happen in the ocean. In the ocean it will happen, and the sea bridge and land bridge why it will comes because of convection process of heat in air. In coastal areas during the daytime the breeze generally flows from the sea towards the land. So what will happen? The air blows from sea towards the land when in in morning time, and during the night time it blows from the land towards the sea. तो क्या होता है? When the heat or the air will transfer, the heat will transfer from sea towards the land at the morning time, and in the evening time it will transfer from sea to the land, right? It will transfer from land to the sea. Okay, so breezes are actually convection of heat. So once again let me repeat that in a coastal areas during a daytime the breeze generally flows from the sea towards the land, and during the night time it blows from the land to the sea. So sea and land breezes are actually convection of heat. So these all will happen because of convection of heat. So you can see the picture over here about the land breeze and even about the sea breeze, how the sea breeze will happen. So what will happen here? In the sea is become colder and it will the heat will be transferred from sea to land, sea to land, sea to land, right? Next, during the day land heats up. So how the process will happen? See, in the daytime the land heats up more than water. So in the morning time what will happen? Lands heats up very quickly. Due to this the air over the land becomes hotter and lighter and rises up. So the air from the sea, which is cooler and heavier, rushes to take the place created by hot rising air. Therefore a sea breeze blows during the day. What will happen? A sea breeze blows during the day. And in night time, during the night time the land loses heat faster than water and becomes cooler, and the air over the sea is now warmer, due to which it rises up and the cooler air over the land rushes to take its place. Therefore we observe the land breeze at night. Okay, so what will happen at night? The land will be cool very fastly compared to water, means it will hot also very fastly and cool also very fastly. So because of that the air will transfer, it will rises up, the then the hot air will be rises up from the sea and it will come towards the land. Thank you.